right, we're like clockwork out here. Engine's here. I need to figure out what to do with this. I swear. Has anybody ever taken apart an engine and not made a mess? I can't do it. With the degreaser, I'm just gonna go ahead and pump it up and spray, spray, spray. Pretty dope. I like these little things. I was gonna paint the engine bay. I really was gonna paint the engine bay, guys, but I don't want to. I know I should, but I feel like the silver helps the car. To be 100% honest with you, I don't know if I'm gonna keep this car orange or not, because I don't know if I wanna go back to red or if I wanna keep it orange, but for the most part, the engine bay will stay silver. I may touch it up again with some more silver to get the spots that are just kind of like scratched away like that. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, just kind of scratched away. Floor kind of dry. I'm gonna take a shortcut. I know you guys are gonna hate me for this. I'm taking a shortcut. I wanna drive it. I'm not gonna do the engine bay. I'm not gonna do the wire harness. That's things that I can still do. Wire harness is easily just flip it over and I can do it then. Engine bay painting, it's already pretty fine. It's decent enough for me. It is silver. I did do that, the power steering. This is the next day, by the way. This is power steering. It is good enough right there. Most of the new components are on the new engine anyways. So I don't want to sit back and waste any more time. I want to get this car running. I want to see it on the road. I know you guys want to see it on the road, and I want to drive it. So we're going to separate the transmission from the engine here. We're going to take off the manifold. We're going to get this one torn down, and we're going to start taking off the pieces that I need from this one to get to the other one. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to separate this transmission now. I had to fight that transmission a little bit. I forgot that the drive shaft that bolts to the back of the block on the GSXs. Yeah, I forgot that that thing was still bolted on. So I'm like, why would I let go? Then I figured it out. So I'm gonna jack the engine up, pull off the turbo, pull off the alternator, get the belt off, get all the timing stuff out. Once I get everything transferred over, I will flip it and then open up the oil pan and go from there. Hi. So it is, it's been about a week since I messed with this last, but I've been doing things here and there. As you can see, the new engine, kind of wish I had some of this stuff powder coated, but it is what it is. But the new, everything here, it is in time. We got new pulleys. We got the balance shaft delete. We got a new tensioner. The pin is pulled out. I don't know where I put the pin, to be honest with you, which is kind of a bad thing. So it is in time, as you can see. Timing mark is right there. This doesn't matter because it's deleted. Is at the 12 o'clock position, and they are centered. So you guys can see right there, they're centered. So it is in time. I rotated it about a good 20, 30 times, 6 times, and it came back to center. Then I just kept spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning, and it just kept lining up to right in that spot. So that's good to go. Everything is here. I'm gonna put on the water pump pieces here. Oil filter housing on here. I took off, and I didn't realize this, but I took off I had a cam sensor, and I also had a crank sensor. I had one of each. I took off this sensor here, and I tried to put it on this one, but this does not have a bolt hole with the threads to put. So I'm kind of like, I don't wanna use the 1G cam because I don't like them. Because you got to put those in time as well. I don't like them. I like to just put, this one here, the one on the bottom, and just be done with it. But nevertheless, I may have to go with that route just to get this car running better, which means I'm gonna have to rewire everything. So that kind of sucks in itself. So let me get this finished up, and then I'll catch you guys in a second. I apologize about the different sound and the different angle of the video. I just forgot that I didn't put my microphone on this thing, but here we are. It is on here now. So obviously the exhaust manifold sits right in here. And the turbo hot side faces your power steering pump and your alternator. And it also but it also faces your whole timing belt cover side, which is all plastic. And obviously plastic has a lower boiling point, melting point than metal would. So the time that it actually overheated, then it was turning glowing red. It was melting all of this away. So unfortunately, I don't have it, but it is what it is. So all that's left now is just the remnants of this. And it sucks, but it is what it is. So the water pulley pump is on, the power steering pump is on. I know may not run the power steering pump this time around, but I'm going to do it just in case I do want to add it on later on. So I am going to be getting an oil pump. Before I even start this car, I am waiting on an oil pump, oil gauge sensor, so that way I can monitor the oil. Obviously, I got to put on the crank pulley, I got to put on the alternator, and I also got to put on the oil filter. I also need to put on the bracket that holds the power steering pump on, so that way if I want to use that later on, I can. It's sitting on the other side of the car there. So I am missing some bolts. This one's missing, and obviously all that's missing. But oops. Well, that's kind of crispy. That's a crispy rubber. Obviously this isn't going anywhere though. This is pretty latched on in there. I am going to disassembling this, and after I take the flywheel off, I am going to start disassembling this one because I got to switch this one to the hoist and this one over to there. So that's going to be another situation in itself, but I need to make sure I need to clean all this gunk up. Like this is why I like working on cars, because it is me. It's not just because that's just how the nature of the beast is. This is me. This is me and my, oh, hurry up and take this apart, because coolant and oil, it sucks. All right, guys, so obviously you see me like nice shoes, nice pants. I'm not working on the car, but I have to close this video out because I'm at a stop right now. So my only option, this bolt right here, is just stripped to hell, and it's pretty much perfectly rounded out. I've tried bolt extractors, I've tried expensive ones, I've tried cheap ones. My only other option is to take this to a shop, like a welding shop, have them weld some bolts on there, and I can try that route, or see if they can just take it off in total. But I can't get that off, so I am at a standstill. The new engine's on that hoist. Gotta get the transmission to it, but I can't because my flywheel's right here. So I'm at a standstill until I get this bolt out. You can see how the metal shavings just, you know, I'm dressed too nice for this. I just got off of work. I just got home. But I don't know. Nevertheless, that's where we're at right now with this thing. I did take off the oil pan, and this is the piece that fell off with the oil pan. So I guess my next step, what I could do, is I can actually remove all the bolts on the oil pan, and that will allow access to the bottom of the crank, which will allow me access to theoretically slide it out that way. Then I could take this whole thing to a shop, just the flywheel and the crank by itself, and have them fix it that way. Hopefully that works. I don't have another flywheel for the 7-bolt all-wheel drive. I did, but I trashed it because I had this one, and I didn't know that bolt was in that condition. So that's all I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna end that here. I'll take the oil pan off next video. Promise you I will. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I will be doing another one of these videos here shortly after I get this oil pan off, and I'll show y'all the destruction inside this motor, because I know that entire crank cylinder, what is it, cylinder one is just trashed. So go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you later.